I'm gonna keep reading this. I don't know for certain who wrote it, but given the little illustration involving Santa Claus, isn't really an illustration. Well, we'll see how it plays in. And the gross inability to write an enjoyable romance. I could probably take a guess. Okay. Oh no, OBS is gonna fight me on this. Hold on, I'm gonna pause the encoding while I deal with it. Okay, I'm back. I had to reset the OBS docs because it was hiding part of the screen, which is a problem because then I can't use the OCR. Okay, it's winter already, and I presume someone Tomoya is talking to Kaoru, but I don't know who's talking because I lost the context. So I just loaded a save file in the middle of it. So one of those two said it's winter already. The other one said, well, of course it is. Again, don't really know which one said which because I can't tell from the personality from just that. Because both of them would say, well, of course it is, right? Time sure flies. Hey, are you thinking about something this time? Are you thinking about something? Hey, are you thinking about what to do next? Okay. What do you mean by do next? There won't be any more second term events, right? So I'm guessing that it's winter already was Kaoru. Tomoyo was of course it is. Kaoru's are you thinking about what to do next? Because that seems like this line seems a bit more Tomoya like. This last one. I don't wanna I just gaped. It's about Christmas. Okay, what is it? Gaped is the best term for that. Like, I just was too cryptic in the way I was talking. Oh dear, I'm so confused. You're so confused. It's about Christmas. You're so confused. It's about Christmas. There's no pronoun there, so it's not I'm confused. You're confused. Tomoya says Christmas. I thought I dodged the question, but Tomoya's face showed a little as if to say, so that's the topic after all. Basically, it's not I thought I dodged the question, is he thought he dodged the question. Right? This narrator is like third person, but the translators don't know that. So if I forget to say that it's actually the narrator's third person, remember the narrator's third person. Although it's going to be because the way I record this, it's hard to tell like which line I'm translating at a time. I mean, you can by comparing. Oh, you can by comparing. Now I actually have it on the in the recording. Um, the uh, the translation, the translation box, which should be on the screen but wasn't, to whatever line is to what some whatever line is in the screen. On that we can say, oh, this one has quotes because the quotes are those bracket, those square L-shaped things. So this would be not the narrator, or it did have quotes. What is the narrator? And then if it's the narrator, it's third person. But judging by that, you haven't decided anything. Imasaka-san is sad. Probably said by Kaoru. So I forgot the translation box. My usual thing. Kaoru sat down on the bench, but she looked up at Tomoya accusingly. Even if you say she is sad, I don't know what to do. You are dating. So in a situation like this, your boyfriend should be the one to set things up and make her happy. Or not your boyfriend, the boyfriend. Get a hold of yourself. Bit of a UA, like not UA, you like personality going on here. Keep it together or get a hold of yourself. Nah. Tomoya looked up, but there was no way the endless blue sky would answer his question. It's so nice to have a boyfriend and a girlfriend. I wonder if it's. Huh, I guess that sentence kind of makes sense. I wonder if it's hot even if you come to a cold place like this. Why didn't you invite Imasaka-san? This is your chance to be alone together. Because you were there. We didn't really know that, but it wouldn't have worked out if well, I don't know how to say this. I mean, you tend to be on the roof, Kaoru. The roof isn't typically empty, right? Teasingly, Kaoru fanned her hand in front of her. There's no way I could say, let's skip class together, and if Otoa-san were here, I wouldn't do anything. No, I wouldn't do anything. But, exactly, she tends to be there. You would actually be alone. And I wouldn't do anything is twice, because there is two Nanimos in that sentence. Again, you're getting worked up. Well, I guess I'll get a chance. Even if I don't go to school, it's nice having fun all the time. What? Come on, you're getting worked up. But I guess there are other opportunities outside of school. It's nice. There are many fun things to do. Okay. I was going to say it's nice being skipping school, but that's not something Kaoru would say. What? It's like there are other nice things to do outside of school. What do you mean by chance? Do I look that greedy to you? Okay, that makes sense. Because Kaoru's talking in that, like, fanning her face kind of way. She's being all naughty. It's a long Kaoru line. It doesn't look like it, but don't you think you're doing a good job? Demo. Tomoya Tomo-chan, Yue-chan. Geez, you're always like this when you have a chance. Oh, no, no. Okay, let's see what Google Translate has to say about that. What about saying chan? Like, okay, so if something weird happened with that, oh, that so let's switch to kana. Correct. Sorry for the pause. Okay. So Google Translate says, it may not seem like it, but aren't you getting along well? Calling each other Tomo-chan and Yue-chan. If you get the chance, you'll, oh, no way. I guess is what Google Translate says. Interesting. So this might, yeah, it seems to be not the Kaoru writer, just because Kaoru is written strangely here. She's like written like his dad. And if you know what I mean, like dads being like that. And they shouldn't be, but sometimes they are. Kaoru hugs her own body and undulates. Yeah, this is definitely not the Kaoru Outrider. Just do it. Okay, who says that line? I mean, it's weird because like it's alternating with Kaoru. Kaoru said the previous line, so you think that's Tomoya, but that's like weird in context. Okay, Kaoru said so. Someone says just do it. Huh? You don't get along very well? You're pretty cool, aren't you? Is just do it like a sarcasm? Yeah, because I guess Tomoe said just do it. Yeah, about that. You see, Kaoru, I don't like PDA, and UA does. Tomoe thought she'd get angry at being. Tomoya thought he'd. Yeah, that is correct. Okay. He'd get angry at being teased, but his tone became awfully meek. So Kaoru straightened up as well, and her face became serious. I. Okay. What the hell? Kaoru waited with bated breath for Tomoya's confession, I guess. Perhaps seeing from his expression that he might say something outrageous. Oops. Whoops. Whoops. Okay. No. Okay. Got it. Perhaps sensing from Tomoyo's expression. Okay, that he might make an outrageous statement. Kaoru waited with bated breath for what Tomoyo would say. I. Kaoru seemed a little annoyed by Tomoyo's inability to speak, so she trained her brows on him. Dakara nani? So what? I don't know how to go out with you. What? What are you saying? It's two kinds of what, right? It's like wa, and then it's nani, right? What are you saying? What? What are you saying now? Kaoru slumped her shoulders in disappointment, opened her mouth, and looked at Tomoya. Kaoru's face, standing against the backdrop of the blue sky, was still serious. We've known each other since we were kids. You've known each other since you were kids, so I don't know what to do or how to do it. Or it could be so you don't know what to do or how to do it, kind of like a sarcastic way. Oh, so that's how it is. Kaoru looked up at the sky. Something like, you're wasting my time, or who's wasting whose time? I wasted my time trying to be serious. Okay, I'll tell you. That's the thing. Okay, I wasted my time. Mm-mm. Tomoya sat down as well, looking interested. With that, Kaoru grabbed Tomoya's ear and pulled him toward her as if pulling him along. Well, the ear grabbing, another hint about who wrote this. Explanation point. Think about it yourself and do something about it. Or maybe you should talk to Imasaka-san herself instead of me. You should have the confidence and self-awareness of a boyfriend. Wah! That's not helpful. It's like I wonder if we're gonna go through multiple characters. I know Koyomi and Shion have been mentioned. They haven't had any dialogue yet, though. It's kind of odd that Koyomi's still there because she's supposed to like quit after her mom was able to be the lunch lady again, and Shion at some point is supposed to travel to Finland. So why she's still there is also weird. Anyway, Tomoya fell on his butt as she yelled into his ear. Wait, that literally the thing? Yes, that literally is. That's how what it says. I don't know how that makes any sense because he's already sitting on the bench. But whatever. He resat on the bench, or fell off the bench. Well, that's how it is. Geez, I wonder what Awase-san. Yeah, Shiwase-san's fidgeting about. She's so relaxed. What? Oh, that's it. I wonder what Shiawase-san is moping about. She's just bragging. Why do we have different... Okay, so whatever no ro ke chate means. It's either relaxed or bragging. And I have no idea what Shiawase-san means. It's written in katakana, which means it's like a borrowed last name, but I don't know what it's borrowed from. It'd be like Chinese or something. And I have no idea what this has is to do with the conversation they were just having. Shh. I'm not really into it, but when Tomoya looked up, Kaoru stood up and shrugged. No, somebody is pretty carefree. You're probably saying, I don't know how to please Yue. Help me. Okay. I feel like that's a little off. Except it's not. It's kinda cold, so I think I'll go back to the classroom. Wait, you're still in class, huh? You need to cool your head and think about it carefully. Mikami-kun, it's hot after all. Of course you can't even think straight. Yeah, like I said, it's not quite right. Right, yeah, Mikami-kun doesn't experience whatever she is considering hot. Like she's like got this like nervous tension, and no, he doesn't have nervous tension. He just doesn't care. It's like he's doing the whole romance thing because that's like what you're supposed to do, but he doesn't actually care for it. You know what I mean? Talking about Tomoya, that is. Teasing Tomoya, Kaoru quickly left. If that's the case, I won't have any trouble. What? If I could do that, it wouldn't be a problem. Same wording, but it has different connotation, right? If that's the case, I wouldn't have any trouble. It seems to be like, okay, I got it now. And if I could do that, it wouldn't be a problem, means you didn't solve my problem. It's like literally means the same thing, but different connotation. Wow. Drag things around. Tomoya spread out in a heap on the cold concrete and cursed. Oh, that's right. Only her face poked out from the entrance, and Kaoru poked her head out as if she'd forgotten something. Nandayo, which is like, what is it? Okay, move this, not the game. And then Kaoru says, good luck, Shiawase-san. Okay, so that's like a weird, like, nickname for Tomoya, which probably, like, mocks him being a boyfriend in some way. Happy, written down in katakana. To, lucky, written out in katakana, are something you can grasp on your own. I wonder if that's related to the lyrics of the J-pop song "Kickback." If you're familiar with "Happy, Lucky, Konnichiwa, Baby," and so on, like it's like they mean the same thing. It's like the same expression having to do with a relationship, which, as an English speaker, makes no sense to me because we don't have an expression like that. With that, the iron door to the entrance slammed shut. Ha! What Kaoru said was correct. A sound argument, but no matter who he confided in with this problem, he would only get the same answer, Tomoya thought, looking up at the sky, which was, you actually know Yue, so you should be able to figure this out. I don't know her, so how am I supposed to figure this out, or even at least not be able to figure this out better than you did? You would, right? Would be the answer he's talking about that everybody would give. Try asking Shion might actually give a serious answer. Although she might just kind of be like, I don't want to talk about it, and just kind of like not say much, right? Yahari is the only one I can rely on. Is that like another word for yourself? Yeah, perhaps the only thing you can rely on is yourself. Ha! But the second "ah" is smaller than before. I don't know what went wrong here. There we go. Tomoya sighed for the second time. His breath was white, and whether he liked it or not, it made him feel like it was the season. Oh, we're going to make aroused. We're going to talk to Shion next down in the library. After school that day, Yue was in the library for once. Oh, so maybe we're looking at UA's perspective. Oh, why? She took several books from the bookshelf at random, flipped through them at her desk, or rather, flipped through them and immediately returned them several times. Okay, we have sa 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 to pa ra ra and some stuff. The sound of rustling to and ra 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 echoed through the quiet complex. The Secret Inn of the Human Body. Obviously wrong because there's a wrong kanji, but it's supposed to be a book title. It probably doesn't matter, right? I don't even look at the internal organs or bones. The meat of the sheath. No, that's not what I meant by what's inside. Wait, so she's looking at books about human anatomy? Okay. Butchered, absolutely butchered titles, but I get the point, right? It's anatomy. But that title does have something to do with meat because the why is it not? Oh, this kanji does mean meat because it could also mean flesh. Looking at the piles of books scattered around across the desk, Yue muttered to herself and closed the books. Anything to think about. Oh. I wonder if she's read more than a dozen books since coming here. I wonder if I've read more than a dozen books since coming here, but I don't see anything to think about. So Yue is a little fed up. In order for lovers to go out, what should they do in the future? How should they interact with each other? Yue was honestly confused and hesitant. Christmas is coming up, so I think it'd be a good idea for the two of us to spend this winter together. But Tomoya wouldn't take me seriously if I asked him, and she would give me an off-the-mark answer. So I came looking, and Sheen gave me an. It might be when I asked him. It might be Tomoya wouldn't take me seriously when I asked him, and Sheen would gave me an off-the-mark answer. So I came looking for some reference material. By looking at human anatomy, this book. It's called The Secret Inn of the Heart. Yeah, that's good. What's this? Quotes. It's trying to say, in order to understand people's hearts, you have to open your own heart first. It's trying to say, watch out for the other person's gestures and actions. If you still can't match them, you have to ask them with all your might. I'm not doing this because I don't know what they're doing. Jeez, it's useless. Seems about right. You ever heard of a dating coaching book in a school library? Huh? Why is that completely wrong? Gee, why is it? How do I fix that? Uh, let's try this. What? I'm gonna keep dithering this thing until it comes out clear. There we go. Tossing aside the book, I accidentally let out a loud voice, and all the students around me, who are reading and studying, looked at Yui all at once, or around her. Some of them were pointing at her with, uh, it's sheets. So I guess it's kind of like pointing at her with a paper. Some of them even pointed their index fingers at her and said sheets, which I guess is kind of like shh, sheets. And then a lone girl walked over to Yue. Oh, we're going to act with Shion now. Imasaka-san. Yes. Imasaka-san's books. Imasaka-san's books aren't something you can read or throw aloud. Should I think about my books? Should I claim them? No, yeah, it's Imasaka-san books should be not be read out loud or thrown. Shion Futami, a member of the library committee and the master of this place, sat down next to Yue with a troubled look on her face. There were times when Yue, who rarely came here, made a fuss. But she was also curious about what she was reading. Gomin, she's like, sorry. There are so many of them, and they're unruly, or rather, they're different genres. That's what Shion says. Shion said in an impressed, exasperated tone as she looked at the pile of books piled high with Yue. Oh, I have to do some fixing here of sorts. There we go. Here's a list of titles. Mythical Beasts and Horror. Tasty Cake Introductory. It says cake. Fighting Around the World. How to Be Popular. What kind of book are you looking for? If you want, I'm reading the new Mabito Buyo 15th match. Let's try to plug this into Google Translate and see if we can get the last bit cleaned up. Yeah, mystical beasts and fearsome animals. Oh, there we go. Introduction to delicious cakes. Fighting around the world. How to be popular with popular men. Which makes more sense because there is a this kanji means man. So okay, how to be popular with chads. What kind of books are you looking for? Maybe even the one I'm reading now, The Swamp Magistrate, 15 Battles. Used wax doll board? Is a scary story? No, I was wondering if there was a book with a good way to get along with Tomo-chan. No, I was wondering if there was a book that showed me how to get along with Tomo-chan. A way to go out? You're actually dating him right now, aren't you? What did I do? Uh, okay. I got confused there, but keep going. Does it look that way after all? Yue smiled happily as she answered. Yeah, I think it's a very close match. Well, does it saying that accidentally insult one of the two? Yue bowed her head as Shion smiled and nodded. Things weren't going as well as Shion had hoped. Okay, let's press B and so this is like gonna be the dim version, right? But I'll be able to see it in full brightness, probably in the extras gallery. Okay, now I have to, because Shion's color is now in here, I have to back it off now. Okay. It's less dense. I mean, you've known Tomo-chan for a long time, so I don't know what I should do. So, but oh, you've known Tomo-chan for a long time, but you don't know what you should do. If he asks you to go out with him, or you want to ask him to go out with you, right? So she's accusing Yue kind of the same thing as Kaoru accused Tomoya. Is that how it works? Huh. It's hard to be receptive. Uh... Normally, Yue said, with an uncharacteristically serious and tired look on her face. Okay, so... Oh, who said what? So maybe the first line was... Oh, okay, backlog. So maybe the first line was said by Yue. It's like I've known him for a long time, but I don't really know how to get him to ask me to do something, or I don't know how to deal with getting asked out. And then, and that's when, and then maybe perhaps Shion responds. It's hard to tell who's saying what, but Tomo-chan would be something that Yue would say. That makes me think the first line on this page was actually said by Yue. And then Shion would say, "Is that how it works?" And then Yue would say, "It's hard to say, really." Right. Look at that. Yue said, normally looking tired. What should I do? Which would be what Yue would say. Quietly, as if not to break the pile of books, Yue lowered herself onto the desk to match the background. Is it fine if we are the same as before? Or is it, like Shion says, isn't it fine if you are the same as before? Yeah, like what would you need to change exactly? Just be yourself. Just like before, question? Okay, Shion actually making sense. Yue looked up at Shion's voice. I don't really know the details. Shion looked up as if thinking. It wasn't that she wasn't interested in romance, but rather that she had no experience with romance, so she didn't know how to respond. She had to answer questions in areas she wasn't good at, while searching for the right words to avoid hurting the other person. Oh, crazy Shion internal monologue in third person. Okay. After mulling it over, Shion slowly opened her mouth. This also just seems to be not written by the person who wrote the Shion route either. You don't have to force yourself just because you started dating him. Is it fine for you to be the same as before? The way things have been up until now, that doesn't really... You don't really change anything. It's like, just be yourself, in so many words. Okay, so Yue looks up. But wouldn't it be more difficult to keep living every day without changing than to seek stimulation? Yeah, I mean, if you're not getting enough whatever she calls stimulation, then yes, it's difficult if you don't get it. Interesting. I wonder if that's how it works. It was different from the answer she was looking for, so Yue lowered herself onto the desk again. And I think it's important to put your feelings for your partner into it, but feelings, so I'm trying to put my feelings into it. But raising her head and resting her chin on her hands, Yue tapped the table with her fingers, looking troubled. The more she thought about it, the less she understood what it meant to fall in love, and what it meant for a man and a woman to go out. But, but, after a beat, Joan smiled at Yue. As your friend, I will support you both in secret so that you can be happy. Shion's clear gaze, devoid of any falsehood, made Yue smile, and Yue felt a smile appear on her face before her very eyes. Yue, great, so do this for me. Thank you. I'm glad I talked to Shion-chan about it. I feel like I can sharpen it. What's important is how you feel. How you feel. And then someone responds, like Shion responds with Tadashi. However, Shone lightly put her index finger on Yue's lips. Be a little quieter in the library. Go, Min. Embarrassed, Yue hurriedly bowed her head to the students looking at her from all around and listening to the entire conversation. Up, we're going to interact with Koyomi now. You miscalculated here again. Oh, yes. And her inability to do math. Tomoya called out to Sayumi from behind the counter at the school store, who was packing a few unsold bread into a bag. Tomoya couldn't see Yue, who always came to invite him today, so he was helping Sayumi-san organize the invoices under Sayumi-san's direction. Sayumi Kirashima's direction. Okay. Whoops. What'd I do? How did I mess that up? What? Uh-oh. Oh. Okay. No. Okay. Phew. Where was I? Why is my translation window all dark now? How did I mess that up? What was strange was that Sayumi, who was supposed to be majoring in economics at the university, was always swamped and miscalculating receipts and handing out change. That was a simple question that even Tomoya, who was bad at math, could understand. If Sayumi were to say it, it would be the foolish joy of the school store or female college student is charming, but... It's like, kind of looks cute. Huh? I thought I'd be fine today. Let's see. Sayumi, who had finished packing the bag, peered over Tomoya's shoulder at the invoice. And Sayumi was putting her face on top of his shoulders. Tomoya's heart skipped a beat. I see. Tomoya-kun, you're amazing. Sayumi's voice and breath came in close to Tomoya's ear, and he felt like he could do something about it. He could? And he felt like he was going to lose something. Okay. Yeah, I guess the only one we haven't talked to yet is Minamo, unless we count Ayaka. I haven't talked to Ayaka yet. I haven't talked to the Ayaka's ghost yet either. Maybe we'll do that last. I'll know right away if it's just this much. I should have answered normally, but my voice cracked a little. Or he should have answered normally, but his voice cracked a little. I don't have any change either. Whether it was intentional or not, this college girl would occasionally do things like this to trouble innocent high school students. Tomoya's voice was completely fielded. Tomoya's voice was completely back into swing. Okay. Which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It sounds good, depending, but whatever. Oh, Tomoya-kun, aren't you thinking something weird? You can't. You have a wonderful girlfriend named Yue-chan. I'm not thinking about anything, so move your head away from me. Tomoya yelled at Sayumi, who whispered so close she almost bit into his paranoid earlobe. Kind of mean when you do that. She's completely teasing me. I'm helping her out, so what's with this treatment? Tomoya was pouting when... Sumimasen. Sorry, is it already over? You wish. Minamo Ibuki, a first-year underclassman, arrives. What's over? Oh, Minamo-chan, the cafe isn't closed yet, so don't worry. I see. I'm just glad that there's something missing from the club. Oh, I see. I'm just missing something in my club activities, so that's a great help. Okay. Like missing food? Sayumi, then Tomoya poked their head out from the counter. Yo. Huh? Even Tomoya-san, the lovey-dovey girl. What's wrong? What? Hey, even Tomoya-san, who I love so much, is here. What is wrong? Oh, okay. So this is Minamo speaking. Rabu is unnecessary. I'll help out as usual. This Rabba is love. Tomoya showed her the ledger. Everyone was teasing him, and he looked a little sour. All the girls are fighting over the useless idiot with no redeeming qualities. That's not what I'm saying. You're always here for me. Just now you were asking me. Saying that, Sayumi began sorting through the shelves. Ah, that's not true. Tomoya-san is so... Okay. Seeing me now will put her hands to her mouth and react somewhat excessively, Tomoya no longer felt like objecting. Seeing me now will put her hands over her mouth and react in a slightly exaggerated way, Tomoya no longer felt like arguing. Even though I have a lover named Yue-chan. I know, right? It doesn't seem like things are going well. So you even tried to lay a hand on me out of anger. Who would have said that? Things weren't going well, so he decided to get even with me. Oh, I knew it. Things weren't going well. So he decided to get even with me. What does getting even with her mean? And this is probably Koyomi talking. Oh, I knew it. Things aren't going well. That's something she would say. Uh, okay, so Katamono, I guess, is a beast. You beast Tomoya-san. It's like you animal. I don't think it's something a human should do. I have to tell Yue. Tomoya tried to hit me. He was so angry. Oh, you an animal. That they won't treat me like a human anymore. Of course, of course, Koyomi lied because she's weird like that. It's true that Yue hadn't been able to have Yue and I hadn't been able and him hadn't been able to get along, but the rest was nonsense. Exasperated, Tomoya retreated to the counter again and waited for this chatty storm to pass. I hate you for being such a beast, Tomoya-san. And someone says, so that would be probably Minamo saying that. Honestly, we're childhood friends, so even if we say we're going out, wouldn't you know what to do? Honestly, your childhood friend, or someone. That's right, Tomoya nodded back and forth at the counter. Maybe Koyomi said, "Your childhood friends, right? So wouldn't you know what to do?" What should I do? That's not easy. It's like, I love you, I love you, I love you. What? It's not, that's not easy or that is easy. It's not that simple. It's just, Yue, I like you, I like you, I love you. Gas, skida, skida, big skida. Is what that's saying. Sayumi hugged her own body and struck a kiss pose. Okay, so that's Koyomi talking. Well, no, like the translator said, not that simple, but it sounds like in context she would be saying it is that simple. That's so bold. Well, he already did it once. That's what's important now. That it's come to this, why don't we just push him down by force? Man, you really are a beast. Wait, what? It's almost Christmas anyway. Maybe we can have dinner at a hotel somewhere or eat cake. We or you and Yue. They're trying to steal him or something? I don't understand this conversation. There's no pronouns. Who's talking? Uh, isn't it all eating, I guess? Because that kanji that's wrong is the kanji that means like to eat. Um, let's make it more ink. Okay. Try again. You've been eating all this time. I guess Let's see what Google Translate has to say there. All you do is eat. Okay. Yeah, it's Christmas. Christmas, all you need to do is eat. Leaving the shopping, and receipt sorting aside, Tomoya regretted that he should have compared the two of them to each other in the first place, as they indulged in delusional conversation. There's no telling what they might say at this rate. It's not compared, it's stopped, right? Regretted that he didn't stop the two of them in the first place. Or something like that. Yeah! Blushing, Minamo shook her head to the right. Big line here. But if you don't get that close, women won't follow you. What? Okay, let's see what Google Translate has to deal with this. Could pull off here. But if you don't come that close, women won't follow you. Your heart and body will be melting like, don't leave me, don't go. What's important is to have the delicacy of an angel and the boldness of a devil. The dating advice of Minamo. And then someone says, is that so? Which might be kind of like Koyomi, maybe. I mean, because they'd be like teasing him, right? That's not something that Tomoya would say. That's right, especially that type of person. We have to force them to go. Is that so? Again, said a different way. Without thinking, Tomoya poked his head out from the counter. So it was Tomoya. Okay. Seeing that, Sayumi grinned devilishly. Okay, so is Sayumi saying you gotta go for it? I can't. Who's talking? Of course not. Of course they'd hate me if I pushed them down or kissed them. If I messed up, it would be a police matter. Or, I don't know who said that. It may have been Sayumi cackled loudly. Okay, maybe Sayumi said that. Like, of course it would be bad if you pushed them down or forcibly kissed them. If you did, okay. You tricked me. Darn it, I wasted my time listening to you seriously. Okay, so yeah, the top line was said by Koyomi, and it wasn't I, it was you. It was, if you did that thing that I suggested, you would get in trouble. Okay. Because you're eavesdropping on women. Well, you just happen to be... What? Overcome with anger, Tomoya slammed probably his fist down. In a fit of anger, Tomoya slammed something down. Google Translate says curtain, but it's probably a wrong kanji. Probably fist. The only way to truly win a girl's heart is here. So let's go to the temple. What? The real way to a girl's heart is not here. Oh. Oh, wrong kanji. Let me translate. Eat. Okay. Just taberu. Grab the kanji. Stick it in. Okay. The real way to a girl's heart is not here. Let's go to the restaurant. Okay. Through her stomach? Half forcefully taking everyone's arms, Sayumi left the school store with light steps. I'll leave the rest to you. Ha! Oh, maybe she didn't take everyone's arm. She took Minamo. Okay, read this. Let's go to the restaurant, and then Koyomi grabs Minamo, drags Minamo out, and then says, I'll leave the rest to you to Tomoya. Why would she drag Minamo out? I don't know. Hearing Sayumi's voice from behind, Tomoya felt drained and sank into the counter. Everyone is tired? Or just him? Every single one of them. I'm tired. Yes, women are not very helpful with dating advice. Are you here now? Let's see here. Hello, are you there? Who said that? This time, an unanswered voice echoes through the school store. Tomoya looked up from the counter to see Sheen standing there looking around. What, you didn't go home? Well, I turned back halfway through. Huh, why'd you do that? Why would that be? What do you mean, why? Of course I came to see Sayumi-san. After school? It's to thank her for the bread I ate today. That was amazing. I didn't think there'd be sea cucumbers in it. I didn't think it'd be seafood. I thought that one was supposed to be gross. I guess Sheen liked it. Sea cucumber. Yeah, that squishy thing at the beach. I thought I'd give her a word of thanks for the delicious surprise attack. Aren't those like really gritty though and stuff? Thank you. Isn't that a complaint? I opened the counter and Sheen took a quick look around. So where is she? She doesn't matter who she is as long as she's a woman? What? What is Tomoya saying here? She is. Man, does it matter whoever the woman is? What? Okay, well, how does Sheen respond? Sayumi-san is special. Now, let her out. It's probably like a way of saying, tell me where she is. I won't leave if you tell me. If you tell me to. It's not bread. Sayumi-san went to the dining hall with Minamo-san. Just because someone told me to go out doesn't mean I'm going out. It's not like we're... let's try to make it actually the right thing here. Oops. Let's turn back to Romanji. Just because someone tells me to give it to them, there we go, doesn't mean I'm going to give it to them. It's not like it's bread. Sayumi-san went to the dining hall with Minamo-san. So, like... but I will tell you. Or the restaurant. What? Then hurry up and tell me. Tell me to go to the cafeteria too, then. Or the dining hall, or the restaurant, or whatever you want to call it. Ah. And then, with the twirl, Sheen turned his back on him, and turned around again. What's wrong? And Tomoya has to bring this up. This morning, a girl claiming that it wasn't... Oh. Tomoya said, what's wrong? And Sheen says, this morning a girl claiming to be not Yue Imasaka asked me what you liked. That's definitely Yue Imasaka, so what did you say? Yeah, I said Tomoya Mikami's favorite food is Yue Masaka. Actually, what do you mean? We don't know each other's favorite food. Why are you getting information from people? Why are you getting information from people? You're saying too much. Well, there's a lot going on. It doesn't matter, but you should be a little more honest with her. Right, it's like, why does she have to ask me, like, you should answer it yourself. Shut up, I don't want to hear that from you. With a wave of his hand, Sheen left the school store. Yeah, I don't get not telling your girlfriend what you like. That's absurd. Tomoya's face grew more and more tired as he sank back into the counter. If that's the case, I won't have any trouble. Oh, if that were the case, if it was just that simple, I wouldn't have this problem. Because this is what he's saying. Tomoya took a deep breath. Okay. Come on. In the end, Yue, who hadn't achieved anything in the library, was alone on the train, right? Something like that. No. Come on, there we go. She was starting to feel a sense of danger that her relationship would end at this rate. So what should she do? Time passed without seeing the answer. Yeah, it's like when both are afraid of getting dumped. That's good because neither of them would want to get dumped if they're afraid of it, right? Just like always, we go to school together, have dinner together, and go home. I've been doing it all this time. I'm supposed to be thinking about my partner, but why is Tomo-chan... The more she thought about it, the more depressed she felt. Yue bowed her head deeply and began breathing softly in her sleep. She woke up after 3 stops from Ayaoka Station. Buying her usual lunch at the convenience store, Tomoya went out. His usual lunch at the convenience store, Tomoya went outside and blinked at the sight of Yue staggering in front of him. Yue? Okay, we're gonna watch Tomoya blow it some more. After a moment of hesitation, Tomoya called out to Yue, staggering back. Even from his perspective, Yue lacked her usual cheerfulness right now. And then it's, Tomo-chan, ka? What's wrong? Didn't you go home first? I overslept a little on the train, which is funny. Whoops. Yue smiled bashfully. Tomoya relaxed his shoulders, feeling like he'd been through too much. Oversleeping at this distance? How long have you had to sleep to get enough? Well, Tomoya, you never get enough sleep. For you need infinite sleep. For a while after that, the two of them walked silently down the deserted street lit night road. But just as he was starting to feel uncomfortable, Nah, Tomo-chan. Still facing forward, you let out a murmur. Nanda, which is like what? Or what is it? Is Yue and the others normal? Okay, continuing. That's what that is. Unable to figure out what the sudden question meant. Yeah, I couldn't figure it out either. Tomoya expressed his confusion in his voice and expression. What do you mean by normal? When I say normal, I mean it's always the same. I mean the same as always. There's a whole lot of meaning behind it. Well, I guess it's not normal for every day to be unchanging. Question mark? I see, then that's fine. Tomoya's bewilderment grew deeper and deeper as Yue smiled at him, looking convinced all by herself. Are you really okay? Isn't there something wrong with you? Yue shook her head, still smiling, at the voice that didn't seem to be teasing her. Didn't you think it was funny? I'm totally fine right now, Tomo-chan. You're important to Yue. Gotta clean some junk off the front of that. Okay, I'm totally fine, is a start. Right now, I'm taking good care of Tomo-chan and Yue. Or am I taking good care of Tomo-chan and Yue? Like the pair. I don't think it's important, but I was a little worried. Okay, I guess that's Tomoya saying I was a little worried. Why can't you give me a perfect answer there? Why can't you give a perfect response? Whatever a perfect response means. This conversation is hard to translate. Yue puffed her cheeks for a moment, but she quickly smiled and turned to Tomoya in her usual manner. Well then, that's just like you, Tomo-chan. Then, I am always what? Yeah, I am the same as always. Yue smiled back at Tomoya's reply, then faced forward again as she walked. Yue da chote, no, chite. Yue and the others. I don't know what that means in context. What? Question time isn't over yet? As expected, Tomoya looked exasperated and Yue's expression hardened a little. I am Tomoya. I do not have the energy to have a simple conversation. Sorry, I'm all this movement. Trying to grab something and drag it. There we go. That's the end. I wonder how many people around us see Yue. This is the end. I wonder how people around me see Yue and you. Okay, so Yue and the others just means Yue and you. It's the couple that includes Yue. What do you mean? Realizing that he'd been fixated on that point for a while now, too, Tomoya found himself at a loss for an answer. Well, you've had some conversations with some other girls. I don't know. It's a pretty difficult question. Yeah, I wonder if lovers won't be able to see it. Well, Tomo-chan, wa, he? Without waiting for Tomoya's answer, Yue did something again and again. As she walked, she turned to him with an anxious expression. Yeah, it wouldn't be smile. The problem with Yue and smiling is because it's extracted out of her name. Without waiting for Tomoya's answer, Yue asked more questions. As she walked, she gave him a worried look. What do you think, Tomo-chan? About Yue, the two people? About being together with Yue or something like that. That's another difficult question. Yue wa... As he thought about it, Tomoya looked up. The sky was full of stars twinkling overhead. Yue is just Yue? Isn't that right? Yue smiled a little at Tomoya's answer. You're right, but you're wrong. Which is it? It's like, which is it indeed? I wonder which one it is. For just a moment, it felt like Yue had a sad expression on her face, but by the time... By the time Tomoya, right, looked again, she had her on her usual smile. And it's like, well then, see you tomorrow. Right? Yep. Before I knew it, I had arrived in front of Yue's house. Yue waved her hand lightly and dashed into her house. Why is it body? Because that's the Yasumi kanji. What is wrong with my body? Okay. The usual way home. The usual way to part ways. Despite that, Tomoya was left alone in the atmosphere of moving somewhere, and all he could do was watch Yue laugh. Yeah, not laugh, just watch Yue as she left. Tomoya was indebted to her and headed for Jishin. When he thought about how he'd somehow been teased by all sorts of people today, he felt as if all his fatigue had come together and attacked him. Tomoya said and headed off to his house. When he realized that today had been a day in which he had been teased by a lot of different people, he felt a wave of fatigue wash over him. That makes more sense. It's like, what now? Oh, home now. There was no one at home except the kitten that Yue had picked up. It was only natural that there would be no reply, but I called out to Tomoya in the doorway out of habit, and he staggered to the living room and lay down on the sofa. Oh, but it called out to Tomoya in the doorway out of habit, and he staggered to the living room and lay down on the sofa. I'm tired. Tomoya murmured and closed his eyes. A large Christmas tree in the corner of the room. Chica chica. So his mom got back to set that up? Because Tomoya would set that up. Huh? When did you... Parents are home. After returning to the home, Tomoya saw something he didn't remember pulling out of the storage room in a strange way. More of it should have been placed in the living room where his family would normally be, but strangely enough, it was placed in his room. Is this Sheen doing things? Upon returning home, Tomoya is puzzled to find an object he has no memory of pulling out of the storeroom. What's more, the object, which would normally be placed in the living room where the family gathers, is now strangely placed in his own room. Sorry to keep you waiting, Tomoya. Tomoya turned around to the sound of that voice. We're gonna get our interaction with Tomoya's mom. Yeah, it's just that voice. Ayaka was holding a large plate full of freshly cooked food and smiling at me. Okay, so he's like... It's kind of like he's imagining, he's like having like hallucinations, but kind of not, because it's kind of this quasi-religion thing going on, right? Like her spirit's still out there or whatever. You... No one else, Ayaka, was standing right in front of Tomoya, just like she had been back then. So we do get to talk to all the girls, including Ayaka. The childhood friend in the apron tilted her head slightly and looked at him. What's wrong? It's nothing. Ignoring Tomoya's surprise, Ayaka placed the plate on the table and began to line up the prize items, forks and knives. You mean like the goods? The goods and then the forks and knives? Kind of. Stuff that goes on the table. I'm not going to bother putting it in Google Translate. You help too, Tomoya. Ah. Of course, Ayaka would actually give a useful answer to this question, because Ayaka actually, like, is a good person. When did she bring the table to his room in such a quiet state? As she thought about it, Tomoya awkwardly began helping set the table as well. And so anyway, after she leaves, right, does everything she moves stay where it is? I don't know the details, but it's pretty elaborate. Christmas-esque dish. Oh man, just a big honey-glazed ham. Are you going to do this by yourself? Or did you do all this yourself? Ayaka answered the rising Tomoya with a smile. The rising Tomoya? Ayaka smiles in response to Tomoya as he soars. Also, come on, Ayaka, give him the recipe. I looked where Ayaka was pointing and saw Yue standing there with a bitter smile. Eh? She had a plate, but on top of it was pitch black. Something scorched. It's baked a little too much. What's that supposed to mean? It's like it's an illustration. It's like Ayaka can bring to Tomoya this beautiful thing, and all that Yue can bring to Tomoya is like garbage, which isn't true, right? As we know from reading the Yue route, but Yue like feels like that, right? What's that supposed to mean? You can tell just by looking, right? Cake. Christmas cake. Oh, chocolate for cake, it would be black. That would be fine. It's charcoal, isn't it? What do you use it for? In front of Tomoya, who was grinning, Yue placed the burnt cake, or rather the failed cake, with a thump. Come on, you're gonna have to eat it. Yue's face, half reversely angry, was a little young. No, she still looked young even now, but Tomoya gave off the impression that she was a little young. I mean, she's a little bit younger than she is now. In that moment, he understood. The fact that I'm here right now is and it's Christmas, back when Ayaka was still here. So then, this is a dream? Still, Tomoya once again wondered if they were going out the same age and could make such a big difference. Still, Tomoya wondered once again whether it was possible for such a difference to arise, even though they were the same relationship and were the same age. Huh? That's right, the two of them aren't the same, and there's no way they're the same. And what I chose was... ... The one that could cook. Obviously, right? And I can see Ayaka and Yue overlapping. Huh? Flustered, Tomoya rubbed his eyes, and the two people he saw overlapping returned to normal. Huh. What's wrong, Tomo-chan? Do you have a fever? There's no way that's the case this season. My eyes are a little... Come on, let's get started. Okay, then... Ayaka smiled, making the cracker she'd been holding in her hand burst spectacularly. We're gonna do kind of Jewish style, where you have like the cracker you dip. A dry sound echoes through the room. Despite what she said, Tomoya completely finished his food. Even Yue was slapping herself on the stomach, completely slacking off. I mean, like, completely, like, wasted, kind of, but was food. Despite all of his complaints, Tomoya had finished off the entire meal. Meanwhile, Yue was patting her stomach in a relaxed mood. I don't know if Tomoya complained at all except for the cake. I guess that means he ate the cake too. Wow, I can't eat anymore. Geez, you're even going to eat cake. Or you even ate the cake. Well, you even eat cake. It's like present tense. Ayaka looked at the two of them, half exasperated and half worried. Her hands were briskly cleaning up their empty plates. But it's such a waste. Tomo-chan was desperate, too. Tomo-chan was desperate? But Tomoya had no memory of eating that charcoal-like cake. Besides, he didn't remember putting Ayaka's extravagant cooking in his mouth either. He just skipped in time from the beginning of the meal to the end. And yet I still feel a strange sense of satisfaction. I use the Vahi to skip the process of eating, to skip to the end. In a dream, after all, Tomoya understood that, but he couldn't help but respond normally. You're right, but Ayaka... I hadn't seen Ayaka eat, but Tomoya made a show of saying that. What? Tomoya said this even though he hadn't actually seen Ayaka eating. Okay. Ayaka and Yue... The two of them look like cars again, like multiple exposures in a picture. Well, I don't know if cars is right. Like they overlapped again, right? Appeared together again, like multiple exposures in a photograph. Yeah, like take a photograph and then like halfway through during the very long exposure, you switch the scene. You like switch something in it. What you started to do with like modern cameras where the film, where first of all it's digital. But even before we did digital, where they had that film that would capture instantly. Okay, someone says, congratulations, Tomoya. Ayaka overlapping with Yue. Oh, Ayaka overlapped with Yue. What do you mean? This is actually to celebrate Yue-chan becoming your new lover. What the hell are you saying, Ayaka? You... I'll go down the road. Going down the road? What? Let's go. I am Tomo-chan's girlfriend. They're overlapping, right? So... Yue would say that. But overlapped. Then Yue... Then the two figures overlap and collapse. Yes. Hey, it's different now. I frantically try to get up, but I can't move. I feel like I'm underwater. When is it now? Why is there a 2? If Ayaka is here, does that mean Tomoya himself is the same as he was back then? But what about himself, knowing that she is gone? Oh, we're gonna overthink the vision. In front of the confused Tomoya, Yue, Ayaka, and even her own... And even the room came to an end. Right? As Tomoya's mind became confused, Yue, Ayaka, and even his own room disappeared, right? Wait. Aya? So where are we going? Where's the vision going? The next thing Tomoya knew, he was in darkness. Looking around, he can't see anything. Besides, he doesn't know if he's standing or sitting or what kind of state he is right now. So he's like a sensory deprivation tank. Felt like his body had melted into the darkness and became one with it. Ayaka, Yue, where are you? Yep. Dokuda. I call out to them, but they did not respond. Toya, in quotes. Ayaka's voice came from behind him, but he couldn't move his body, which had melted into the darkness. Ayaka, where are you? Come out. Tomoya screamed as loud as he could. Then he cried, but he didn't feel any tears flowing. Tomoya, make Yue-chan happy. Only Ayako's voice echoed in my ears. Oh. Let's try to get this Google Translate here. Yeah, it's like Nande, which is Y, Yue, Nandayo. I. Ariwa is I. It's like Y, Yue, I. I am not here anymore, correct, Jed? Oh. Okay, let me try to fix it. So the she at the beginning is an E. Good. Of course not. Even now. Yeah, of course you're not here. No. Tomoya is really hesitant. So... In the darkness, like a gap between the present and the past, between reality and unreality, Tomoya cried and struggled. That's right, I am hesitating. I can't forget you and go out with Yue. I can't see Yue like I did when I was dating you. Why? Because you can't cook. No, because you can't cook. Ayaka's voice sounded both angry and terribly calm. Stupidity again. Seeing Yue just like you, well, I feel like it's bad for both you and Yue, so... And they're different. Hearing Tomoya's desperate answer, Ayaka's voice coming from the darkness was a small smile. That's actually a smile, or a giggle. Hehehe. But that's what Yue wants, though. That's wrong. I'm me and Yue-chan is Yue-chan. Trying to make me wear it is bad for Yue-chan. So be more honest and look at Yue-chan. Okay. It's bad for Yue-chan to even try to make her look like me. So be more honest and look at Yue-chan. Okay. I can't do it, Ayaka. That's not true. Tomoya can do it because Yue-chan is here. Otherwise, this darkness won't clear, and Tomoya will stay like this. Oh, is that a threat? But then... Nai nai. No, it's bye bye. Which is like, yeah, bye bye. And then this is wait, right? Wait. Whoops. Funny how the backlog contrasts. It's like all dark and turn the backlog on back and oh, it's all bright again. Tomoya desperately reached out in the darkness, but he didn't feel anything. He reached out as far as he could. As he did, a sharp pain ran through the back of his hand, and before long his vision began to glow white. Glows white? Good. Then turns to gray. Ayaka! In the light, his consciousness gradually faded away. And then he woke up in the morning, overslept. Tomoya woke with a pain in the back of his hand. Someone take his blood. Damn it. The memory of is neither dream nor reality. And I hear jeers, but there's pain in the back of my hand. I strain my eyes, blurred my tears, and see two large brown fur balls lying at the end of my outstretched arm. Okay, so that was cat claws. Okay, a curse leaked out from my mouth as I remembered something that was neither a dream nor reality. However, once I felt a pain on the back of my hand. I squinted my eyes, blurred with tears, and saw two large brown fur balls rolling around at the tip of my outstretched arm. It's the cats, right? One of the fur balls let out a small nee. Finally, Tomoya remembered. I gotta feed the cats. After being teased so many times at school, I went home exhausted, but at the same time I fell face down on the living room sofa and fell asleep. Not but, and exhausted you did that. The furball's true form was the kittens Suri and Momo. The kittens not Suri. The kittens Uri and Momo that Yue had picked. One of them was probably scratched the sleeping Tomoya's hand. I have to put it in the cage. I got up and looked around the room, but there was no Christmas tree anywhere. So it was a dream after all. Being able to return to reality made me feel uneasy, but at the same time I couldn't help but feel vividly about what had happened in that darkness. Well, you feel uneasy about going back to reality? Let me see if Google Translate renders something that makes more sense. I felt a sense of relief to be back in reality. But at the same time, the events that had taken place in the darkness seemed all too vivid. That makes more sense. When Hiyori thought about it, you mean I, didn't Ayaka, who couldn't bear to see her current self, take the form of a dream and come talk to me? Tomoya, or couldn't bear this to see my current self, took the form of a dream to come talk to me. Tomoya couldn't help but think about that, but he shook his head. He couldn't quite put his mind to what Ayaka had said inside him. Okay. Tomoya regretted once again that they had started dating, not mentally prepared to welcome Yue as his lover. Ayaka. Sorry, Yue. Tomoya murmured as he looked at the back of his hand, scratched by the kitten. The cat was already curled up and sleeping, as if it did not know Tomoya. Several days had passed since Tomoya had the strange dream. As usual, Yue lived a life without any progress, and he was ridiculed because he believed in her. As usual, days go by with no progress being made between him and Yue, and Shin and Kaoru continued to tease him. But perhaps it was just my imagination, but the topic of Christmas was rarely brought up from Yue's mouth. And yet, what do you think? Any plans for Christmas? I heard you guys are going to the mountains for Christmas. So, congratulations. This random conversation in the classroom, right? Then all sorts of rumors reached Tomoya's ears about where and how he made the mistake and who he'd gotten them from, and he denied them all. Huh? Various rumors reached Tomoya's ears, including where and how the mistake had happened and who had spread them. But he denied them all. Oh, like rumors about things Tomoya did or something? Like I said, you're wrong. As Tomoya raised his voice, there was nothing standing in front of him about his Christmas plans. I haven't seen like any foreshadowing yet about what they actually will be. Besides the kittens, like it's gonna have something to do with the cats, I would think, but I don't know what else. That day, Yue was alone, plodding off at her own pace. Tomo-chan. I could invite him to go back to something, and I could force him to come along when he didn't want to. See what went wrong here. Why is there a big O? I could have invited him to go home with me, or I could have forced the reluctant Tomoya to come with me. That was supposed to be the case, but I can't muster the energy to do it. Yapari, Tomo-chan. I forgot what Yapari means. I knew it, Tomo-chan. Up Ayaka, right? Ayaka's gonna be brought up as she walked down the dark road. Yue thought about Tomoya and Ayaka. Right? He didn't seem to have any trouble dating Ayaka. I was aware that Ayaka was stuck in Tomoya's mind. I also vaguely realized she was aware that Ayaka was stuck in Tomoya's mind. She also vaguely realized that that was probably why he was acting like this. Going out with someone else wouldn't get us anywhere. Or nothing will come of continuing to have a distant relationship, right? He's like, might as well not have one. On the other hand, Yue thought again, unable to shake the Yue was again unable to shake the thought that she was doing something shady to Ayaka. Tomoya and Yue were both supposed to have been able to get through this on their own. Okay, bringing the silly thing, psychological thing from the main game into the after story, just repeating it. We're just repeating the main game again. Okay. Thought we got through this. You cannot forget, can you? As the cold wind blew, only her cheeks, wet with tears that had flowed out at some point, felt strangely warm. But I can't go on like this. I won't make any progress. Yue wiped away her tears and thought that. You can't run away, right, Aya-chan? Running off down the night road, Yue looked up. The next day, again, stop doing that. There you go. It was just a hunch, but Tomoya felt like Yue was less excited than usual. Ever since they'd come together, they'd gone to school together, the atmosphere somehow changed. Over the course of their long time together, Tomoya had been able to somehow tell the mood and conditions of the day from Yue's greetings. What is it? What's wrong with you? It's nothing, it's nothing. You say that, but... Tomoya didn't even notice that Yue's eyes were red as she hung her head. We had an unrelenting conversation as we approached the school, and Yue's voice finally bounced a little. Okay, unrelenting means like they didn't start talking, right? Nothing broke down. Okay, we continued our aimless conversation and drew closer to school. Yue's voice finally started to bounce a little. It's finally tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Whoops. Shucks. Okay. Got it. Tomorrow? What was it again? Oh, the Olympics? Don't be a meme. If it is tomorrow, if Christmas is really tomorrow, that means we're close to the end of the story. That's good. Yay. It's 4 days long, right? So it seems like each scene's a day, and this is the third day in this chronology. So I presume Christmas, the fourth day, will be the fourth scene. No, it's Christmas. Gee, you really forgot? They have school the day before Christmas in Japan. Interesting. I mean, Yue laughs truly at Tomoya's stupidity as if she's back to her usual self. Of course, there's a big time skip between day 2 and day 3, right? Of course, Tomoya knew about tomorrow, but he feigned ignorance without touching on the subject. Besides, he hadn't planned anything for the day. I see. Well, school ends today. Well then, have a good year. Not yet. Tomo-chan. Tomorrow. Reluctantly, Yue timidly spoke as if peering into Tomoya's face. Could tomorrow really be avoided? If so, if he made up his mind and faced Yue, Tomoya's mind couldn't even think that way. So he blows it yet again, right? Hey, you two. Even though it's winter, it's so hot. Oh no, Kaoru. Kaoru. Sheen, running up from behind, lightly slaps Tomoya on the back. Oh, it's Sheen, okay. The author of this made Kaoru talk like that, too. Hey, it's you, isn't it? You're like the one who made me say things like that. You're the one spreading allegations. Tomoya chased after Sheen, who was running away in a mad dash. Hey, I'm not done talking yet. Which is more like, wait, I'm not done talking yet, said Yue. Far behind, Yue tried shouting at Tomoya, who slammed the captured Sheen into the cold ground. But her voice didn't seem to reach him at all. But what in the world is a reverse shrimp? Cold ground applied a reverse crab hold. Okay. Jeez, Tomo-chan. Tomoya's attitude as if he'd run away made Yue even more dejected than angry. The fact that Tomoya's face looked more alive when he was joking around with Sheen made Yue even more depressed. Was it a lie? Even though we were lovers, even though we were childhood friends, even though we're right in front of each other, I can't help but feel that there's an invisible wall or fault separating us. Okay. Kaoru patted Yue on the shoulder as she plodded off to the school gate alone. Oh, Ohio, Imasaka-san. This is Ottawa-san. Come on, grab that. There we go. You're grabbing the wrong thing. Kaoru looked at Yue's face, which was so unenthusiastic, but she realized the cause was far ahead of her and opened her mouth in exasperation. But realized the cause of this was far ahead of her and spoke in exasperation. Okay, what did Kaoru say in exasperation? Oh, geez. The man is such an idiot. It's so early in the morning. Kaoru placed her hand on Yue's back as she walked slowly, looking downcast. Come on, hurry to your boyfriend. It's okay, Ottawa-san. Why? That's enough. Or that's fine. I see. Oh, by the way, have you decided on your plans for tomorrow? Kaoru hurriedly tried to change the subject, the sound of Yue's voice, which had gotten even less excited. But by the time she realized it had the opposite effect, it was already too late. And Yue's face was as dark as a tower of Ke. Okay, let's go translate to say about the Tower of Ke. Yue's face has darkened as if to threaten Ke. Something went wrong, but I don't know what it is. But I get the point. Her face was very dark. Plans. A gloomy mood hung in the air, and Yue stopped walking. No, it's Christmas time. Tomoya's setting it up for you, isn't he? This man. No. No something woman. I don't think is it weird? What's Google Translate have to say? It's a I don't like it. It's a Christmas time. Tomoya is setting it up right. He's she's accusing Tomoya of something. Google Translate says being a playboy, or you're a playgirl. I don't know, something like that. I don't know why the Kaoru's written this way. Kaoru continued to speak, but it was clear that the stone had already been burned to a crisp. Kaoru continued. As usual, Kaoru continued, but it was clear that this was like trying to put out a fire with water. What Google Translate is to say. Neither of these things match. These are very different. These interpretations are very different from each other. And neither of them make sense. It should be trying to put out a fire with something that's like hard to put out a fire with. Which wouldn't be water, because most fires are easy to put out with water. There's some that are not, like oil fires, but most of them are. So, In that case, Kaoru grins and prods Yue with her elbow, but she doesn't react at all. Yue's body shakes in response. Prods being like kosa kosa. Or no plans, no plans. No plans, no. Yue shook her head vigorously. Again, wait. Hone to me? Which is really. Yue nodded her head. It was a straight face. Yue nodded in response to a joke. Even though it's Christmas? And it's a holy night, I guess. This time, she gives a small nod. Sorry, it seems like I was teasing you. Anyway, I wonder what you're thinking. I'll talk for a bit. Hey, wait. I'm sorry, it seems like I was teasing you, but anyway, what were you thinking of? Hey, I'll tell you something. Hey. Kaoru strode toward Tomoya and the others, but Yue tugged on her sleeve and stopped her. It's fine, thanks. It's not fine. It's not good at all. Kaoru couldn't forgive Tomoya for playing with his friends without making any Christmas plans. For not making any plans for Christmas and fooling around with his friends instead of his girlfriend. It's Yue and Tomoya's problem, right? Which would be something Yue said. Yue says weakly. Or actually, it smiles weakly. Because they see that the kanji again. Yes. Yue smiles weakly. If you say so, Imasaka-san. The second part doesn't make any sense. But that's impossible. Just leave me alone. But it's impossible to leave it alone. Okay. Without noticing that Kaoru had stopped in her tracks, unable to calm her anger, Tomoya jokingly entered the gate with Shin. Without noticing Kaoru, who had stopped in her tracks, still angry, Tomoya and Shin, not Makoto, continued to joke around as they entered the school gates. And Kaoru said, "They're all idiots." Unconvinced, Kaoru murmured. Oh, this background. Ohayo gozaimasu, which is good morning. Ashita desu ne. It is tomorrow, isn't it? Finally, it is tomorrow, isn't it? Yes. Not, it is finally tomorrow. That phrase doesn't make any sense. Hey, what's going on? What? What do you mean? No, it's nothing. Shion also called out to Yue in the classroom, but she picked up on the usual atmosphere and pinched her words. Kaoru tugged on Shion's sleeve as she watched Yue trot off to her seat with concern. Wait, Futami-san. Wait, Kaoru grabbed Futami? Ah, yes. Shion asked Kaoru as soon as she was taken out of the classroom. Okay. As she was let out of the classroom, Shion asked Kaoru, Imasaka-san, what is wrong with her, right? Imasaka-san, what happened? Because Imasaka-san is Yue, not Kaoru or Shion. I don't know the details, but tomorrow's topic is off limits. With Yue. Well, I don't know the details, but talking about tomorrow is a no-no. So this is Kaoru talking to Shion, right? As the two of them quietly watched from the entrance, Yue sat in her seat, right, and sighed loudly. What happened? You were so fired up the other day. I don't know who's talking to who. Shion remembered Yue reading a book at random in the library. Oh, she was so fired up the other day. It's not so much that something happened, but rather that nothing happened. And she's probably depressed. Kaoru tilts her head as if to say it's just speculation. Kind of nice to read a conversation between Shion and Kaoru, even though it doesn't fit either of their personalities. Nothing? As in, you mean nothing happened? That's right, it's that man's fault. Kaoru gives a big nod. Idiot, you mean that man is Mikami-san? Of course. Shion's eyebrows twitched as Kaoru gave her another big nod. Why did she make him her boyfriend? If it were me, then anyway, this is a problem between the two of them, so didn't think it was something someone else should interfere with. I feel a little sorry for Imasaka-san. This is Shion talking? Shion usually doesn't say like that much stuff. The two of them are looking at Yue, who's lying face down on the desk. And on the other side, Tomoe, who's having fun talking with Sheen about nonsense. Spaka, man! Which should probably be something Kaoru would say. Kaoru muttered in annoyance. And then we had a conversation between Koyomi and Minamo. After school, Yue went to the school store by herself. Okay, we got through school now. When she entered, Sayumi and Minamo were chatting about something. Oh, welcome, Yue-chan. I have new bread. Without replying, Yue smiles. Yeah, she just smiles plainly. Tomorrow, Kuri, which starting to say Christmas, right? Tomorrow, Ashita wa Kuri. That instant, Yue's body twitched. Oh dear. The usual transfer, thinking that Sayumi stopped something and took her gaze away from Yue. Just like always, thinking that Sayumi stopped speaking and simply looked away from Yue. Okay. And they have Kuri in hiragana for some reason. Starting to say Christmas again in hiragana. I don't think she has any. I don't think we have any chestnut mango. I don't think there are any chestnut buns. Oh, Kuri is like chestnut. Okay, I get it. I don't think that's why it's in hiragana. I don't think we have any Kuri, which means chestnut buns. Seeing Sayumi laugh it off, Minamo gave her a puzzled look. By the way, what are you going to do tomorrow? Tomorrow? Yue looked up a little. Like, Minamo doesn't get it. Again, hora, k. Starting to say Christmas. Sayumi covered Minamo's. Remember, Minamo gets often mistranslated to everyone. Covered Minamo's mouth with her hand. Woof. Funny. Without even glancing at Minamo, who was flailing her arms and legs, Yue twirled around the school store, turned her back to them, and left. My phone vibrated. Sayumi, who hadn't been able to call out to her, noticed Minamo appealing to her with her eyes to let go, and she let out a deep breath. What were you doing? You couldn't tell just by looking? What do you mean? Ah, I guess it's the difference in experience. Moo. Just now, Yue-chan was giving off the aura of, don't talk about Christmas. What is a thing about Koyomi where she can read your mind? As Sayumi gazed at the door with a slightly troubled expression, Minamo looked back at her profile with a puzzled expression. Oh, aura? 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 Come to think of it, she did seem a little down. That actually means aura, by the way. Could it be that she broke up with Tomoya-kun? Now that's hard. Does it look like, why does he look like he's having so much fun? Wait, no way. As Minamo looked like she was about to burst into tears as if were her own business, Sayumi huffed and puffed up her face again and again with a knowing look. Regardless, she looked like she had a reason for it. She was the kind of girl who showed on her face right away. Talking about Yue. Tomoya, on the other hand, didn't want to touch on tomorrow's topic any more than before, so during break time he would kill time sneaking away from people on the roof or somewhere less crowded. Even though his worst enemy right now, Kaoru, tends to hang out on the roof. Just because tomorrow's over doesn't change my relationship with Yue. Part of me wants to do something about the current situation, but I can't take action. What's wrong with Christmas? On the empty rooftop, in a heap, Tomoya murmured to himself. As the cold wind passed through his body, Tomoya snorted at the cold. I wonder if there'll be a big earthquake tomorrow. Bailed out by natural disaster. Tomoya murmured something dangerous and closed his eyes, but it was so cold that he couldn't sleep at night. Or just couldn't sleep. What? Break up. Who said that? At this rate, Tomoya would catch a cold, so he stood up with a pathetic look on his face and headed back to the classroom. Oh. Ha. This is the place where you sit and eat, right? Alone in the dining hall, Yue sighed. It was fine to go home, so she tried to invite Tomoya along as usual, but for some reason she stopped herself. I'll pause for a moment. You know what? Actually, because this is 2.5 hours long, I'm actually going to end it. So we'll do that. $42. Okay. And then, actually... Then we'll go to the gallery. Oh, okay, I'm doing the clear list first, whatever. Yeah, okay, we got into the third scene. There's probably 1 day per scene. What's the scene title? Scene title is I Want to Stay Like That. Okay. Maybe just go back into that. Kono, which is that. Mamate, which probably is a te form of to stay. Itai noni. Okay, Itai probably modifies it to be to want. I don't know what the Noni does. Okay. And then images. I don't know why I was slow to respond there. Other. And it's this one. Okay. There we go.